What's up, guys? Today, I'm going to talk about synergy. This is for entrepreneurs. This is for sales reps. This is really to get a deeper understanding of the relationship that's needed between marketing, sales, and a company. Can marketing get so good? Can we be so profound at marketing and tapping into a client's interest to where we can full cycle a sale in a marketing funnel? Absolutely, that could happen. However, sales will not be replaced, okay? Customer retention is too important. The industry that I'm in, you have to be licensed. You have to have a sales rep write that policy. Very few companies have tapped into a niche where it just becomes automatic. Think about it, guys. Not everyone's gonna buy just by clicking buttons like Amazon. There's still that percentage that will not buy. And that's what I wanna talk about today. So when we talk about leads, how is a lead generated is gonna depend on your verbiage to the client. I talk about this a little bit in some previous videos where I go over the introduction and how to speak to a client upon introduction and how that can change. And the reason for that is specifically the marketing tactic for that lead, right? So for instance, with awareness, okay, from lead to company is awareness. And how a lead is going to become aware of a product is because they feel a need for it. So maybe their friend told them about this life insurance policy that they didn't know that even existed. They thought a term policy was just paying into policy payments, and they didn't know they can attach a rider called a return of premium rider, and now their eyes light up because, hey, they see the big benefit in it now, right? So, the friend, that's the first part of awareness, okay? The second one is cold calling, okay? How many of us go and cold call? This is another aspect that ties the sales reps into being non-replaceable, okay? So once you get a client on a cold call, you're bringing them to a point of awareness. The third thing is broad market. So you can use shotgun tactics, Walmart gift cards. These are just broad net funnels that a lot of you guys are probably familiar with. Have you ever called a company's leads and they answer the phone and they say, yeah, I was just calling for a Walmart gift card. Yeah, I just wanted the Target gift card, right? And so that's a broad market. They're not necessarily targeting the pain point of your client for the product that the company is selling, but they're just getting enough interest and then using a checkbox, right? And so it's a very small, mile wide, inch deep niche in that aspect, right? So the next thing I'm gonna talk about here is the company. What company is, it could be anything for anyone. It could be Ford. Me and my family, we're big customers of Verizon. It's just brand recognition. It's a big brand. They had the most coverage. They had what to appear to be the best customer service in the industry at the time. And so the company provides, a marketing opportunity, okay? So that marketing opportunity can actually close the deal right here. If they full cycle it and they have the technology in place, me knowing I want Verizon can go find a Verizon store online and I can actually order my phone online, never talk to a rep and close it here. For those clients that don't get closed through that, maybe your company doesn't have a full cycle sale with the technology in place to do so, right? And so that's where we come in again. Now, how we get the company and the brand recognition is through SEO, okay? It's also through word to mouth, shooting commercials, doing commercials and things of that nature. You're gonna typically generate an inbound lead from brand recognition. Brand recognition is huge. Now, looking at the opportunity for SEO and all the leads that don't close inbound, right? So that's gonna get pushed over to you as a lead on a lead form, okay? So 9 times out of 10, you're getting leads that have expressed some form of interest, okay? And that can be a layup with a live transfer as well, or just an inbound call, and you'll just sit in queue, wait for someone to call you, okay? So that's where we come in, and we're gonna present the product, okay? So we're mainly gonna be delivering with enthusiasm, with passion. We're gonna be really getting into the pain points of why the client expressed interest in the first place, and we're digging into that wound, right? So there's a Band-Aid there. They've been hurt in the past. They've been scarred in the past. Some of us wear that pain in our phone calls, right? And our job is just to really unveil that Band-Aid and figure out what cut them. What kind of knife was it? How big was the knife? How bad did it hurt? Did it affect anyone around you? Like, did it happen around your kids? You cut yourself around your kids on accident and they saw all the blood? Oh man, that's terrible, And so here's this Band-Aid that we're gonna give you. And by the way, here's a strategy to never let that happen again, okay? So once you give them that solution, we come in with the solutions, we build relationships. And by nature, it's going to help with retention, okay? It's going to help with getting more referrals, extracting maximum ROI. And that leads me into the basically the grand finale of the video. The whole reason this video is made is to let you guys know you need to become irreplaceable. You need to become irreplaceable in your market, in your industry, okay? As a sales rep, there's a bunch of reasons and strategies behind becoming irreplaceable, okay? The first one is their maximum ROI, okay? You're gonna maximize the return of investment for your business or for the company that you're working with, okay? Some of us need to be entrepreneurs first, right? So the second is the lower CPA. What that means is your cost per acquisition, okay? If you're spending, $100 to $200 on leads that are laydowns, that doesn't require that much skill, again, anybody can do this. This is this step, right? The only reason why a company would hire someone to close a laydown is because they simply have a leak in technology. They do not have the technology to push that client full cycle, and they just need you to answer the phone, tie it up, submit the application, because hey, the industry is just not caught up, right? And that's really big in our industry. But that's a great process for an entrepreneur who has their own company and can generate leads like that. But what about the leads that don't, right? These are the cold calls. A lot of us are familiar with this, okay? So you got a list, maybe you got some doors you're gonna go knock. It doesn't cost you any money to do this. Hey, my name's Anthony, right? Doesn't cost you anything, okay? It doesn't cost you any money to pick up your phone, dial a phone number, okay? The leads that you do pay for cold calling lists, 50 cents, $1, $10, it's very, very null in comparison to an inbound lead or the time and sweat equity behind an SEO lead or any other kind of lead, right? So the second thing here is most people are sold, and this is gonna range in your industry, between 6 to 8 touches. So each person that doesn't close here does require a follow-up of 6 to 8 touches. Now we have in my industry, final expense life insurance telesales with digital BGA, mastered the one call close. A majority of my clients that I've ever sold with this company, and I wrote $19,000 in my first month with digital BGA, selling telesales life insurance over the phone, never knocked the door in my life, sold mainly one call closes, okay? And those calls last about an hour. Now, there are agents who are doing follow-ups, and in my opinion, they're just falling back to their weakness, and that's letting clients off of the phone, knowing you're providing a solution for that client and they need the coverage now, but you're giving in to the objections. You're giving in to the objections that they're handling you and not rebuttaling them in the proper way to keep that conversation flowing, okay? So again, most people are going to require 6 to 8 touches depending on your industry, and if you have that scripting, if you have that coaching and training to one call close, then this number will significantly be decreased, right? The third is retention. So we talked about that when we talk about building relationships, right? So we need to retain our clients. That's one of the biggest things that we look at, especially in my industry, is chargebacks, right? So if there's no person, have you ever picked up a phone call? Maybe someone messed up on your phone bill, right? And they charge you like 10, 15 bucks extra, and you want to figure out why your phone bill is costing more than it normally does every month. So you pick up the phone, you call the carrier, you wait on hold, it asks you to enter your last 4 numbers of your social, enter the phone number that you're calling in from, right? And you're just like, man, I just need to get a person on the phone, okay? Please let me get to a person, right? Like, so you're calling and you're on hold waiting and no one's picking up the phone. Isn't that a terrible experience? I'm pretty sure if you've been through that, you're no longer with that company who gave you that bad experience, right? And if you are, hey, you're a great client, because me, I need to speak to somebody. That's how you retain me. I need to have a human conversation with somebody so that I can just vent to them. If somebody would just listen to me half of the time, I probably would be the super easiest client to retain, okay? So most of the time it's just blowing off smoke and picking up the phone when the client needs you the most, right? So retention is the one. And this is the main factor that I wanted to discuss. And this right here should give you pride. Why does everyone think being a sales rep is not, it has a bad rep? You know, I don't understand it, because being a sales rep to me creates all of the qualities that any successful person, any entrepreneur, anyone who's got it out the mud, chased their dream, came from nothing, Okay, sales has built those qualities and instilled them into me. Okay, a few examples of that is initiating conversations, right? Cold calling, making something out of nothing. And it takes discipline, it takes will, it takes grit. Okay, once you build relationships with people, you understand it's not for the paycheck anymore. You're literally making a difference in people's lives by providing them with a solution that they currently had a pain for. They had a need for that solution. You provided that. Okay, and that's another big quality, is minimizing self, subtracting self, and adding into others. Okay, so that's another huge quality that you guys should be taking pride of. Hey, look, if you guys need help with telesales and final expense life insurance, let's network. 512-649-4202.